court to resume in the Burgos Civiles case. We're previewing a new chapter to the Murdoch family crime saga. Attorneys in the wrongful death lawsuit for Mallory Beach are now asking to change venues. This civil trial was set to kick off August 14th, but this newly raised issue could bring everything to a halt. The judge will hear this motion tomorrow at noon, along with a second motion to sever the defendants, convicted killer Murdoch and the Parkers Corporation.
Well, Mallory Beach died after being thrown from a boat in 2019. The driver of the boat was Alec's youngest son, now deceased, Paul Murdoch. He was facing multiple felonies, but after Paul's death, the Beach family turned their attention to Alec and the company responsible for supplying the underage teens with alcohol. And we have more on the story.
Saturday night, February 23rd, 2019. It was a date night for Paul Murdoch, Morgan Dowdy, Anthony Cook, Mallory Beach, and Connor Cook and Miley Altman. The childhood friends had grown up together in South Carolina's Low Country. The 6 teens were heading to an oyster roast at a family friend's house on Pawkey Island. They decided to go in Paul's father's boat rather than drive to avoid DUI checkpoints. But before they set off to the party, Paul went to a nearby convenience store, Parker's Kitchen, to buy beer. 19-year-old Paul used his older brother Buster's ID and his mother's credit card for the purchase. Surveillance video shows him triumphantly holding up the beer as he walked back to his truck. The group took the boat over to the party where they were all seen drinking throughout the evening. They left Pawkey Island a little after midnight. But instead of going home, Paul Murdoch decided he wanted to go to a bar in downtown Beaufort.
Like at first, we didn't want to go, but Paul was like, you could kind of tell he was a little drunk and he wanted to go.
Paul Murdoch and Connor Cook used fake IDs to get into Luther's, and both drank 2 shots in about 10 minutes. The crash survivors say when they got back to the boat, Paul was visibly drunk and belligerent. He was driving erratically, going in circles and insisting he should drive.
Paul was like, you think you know this river better than me? Like, this is my boat, this is my water, all this kind of stuff.
Investigators say that around 2 a.m., Paul Murdoch slammed his father's boat into a bridge piling on Archers Creek. Paul, Anthony Cook, and Mallory Beach were thrown into the water. Morgan Dowdy and Connor Cook were severely injured.
Okay.
There's 6 of us and 1 is missing. Please send someone.
No, we're calling, okay?
Mallory was just like nowhere to be seen, like it was just like she disappeared.
It took searchers a week to find Mallory Beach's body. She was 19 years old when she died.
All right, still with us to discuss Ann Brimner. And of course, this hearing tomorrow, Ashley, we will be there. You will be able to watch it live with us on Court TV. It's a pivotal hearing, and for change of venue, it's the second time in this civil litigation that one of the defendants has tried to move this out of Hampton County. Now, remember, Hampton County in South Carolina is the headquarters for everything Murdoch. It's the most recognized name there in that county, where the big law firm is just a couple of blocks from the courthouse where this civil trial will take place. So it's understandable why they're trying to bring this motion in.
Well, absolutely, and I think you've talked about this before, but it used to be you could file in that county from anywhere else in the state, and that was the most sympathetic to plaintiffs, and it was Murdoch Central, for all things plaintiff, their cases with, big results with the jurors that they all knew. I mean, all the things we've talked about before about the influences of the Murdochs in this county. So, of course, they want to change the venue. And this is a notorious case. It's like it'll never end, right? I mean, and people have been fascinated with this dynasty going back to, I think, a great-grandfather that died on the train tracks, and everything that happened ever since. Was it a suicide? Was it, an accident, etc.? So they need to get out of that county if they're going to have any kind of a chance, I think. against anyone Murdoch.
Yes, I just want to mention right fast, we're showing video of inside the Hampton County Courthouse. I've been in there. I was in there when this video was taken inside the courtroom, and all three generations there on the wall of Murdochs who were solicitors in that county. I wonder if this time, you know what, Judge Ashley, in the criminal case in Collington County, the neighboring county, about 40 minutes from this courthouse, they took down the photo of the grandpa.
Right.
I wonder if that's going to be.
And is it a difference that it's a criminal case in that instance versus here's a civil case? We'll have to wait and see. And one of the other things I want to talk about is the severing of the defendants, because I understand that no defendant is going to want to be tried in the same case as Alec Murdaugh, quite frankly, because his name was smeared through the mud before he was convicted. So what is the legal standard? What are some things you think a court might consider to determine whether or not it's appropriate or necessary to split the defendants?
Well, the main thing is prejudice, as you know, Judge Ashley. I mean, it's you're looking at, am I prejudiced as a party, the moving party on the severance, by virtue of being tried with this person or this entity or anything else? The courts, of course, are loath to grant severance because of judicial economy. You don't want to have too many cases going forward that could be consolidated. But and this isn't in a civil case; it's a lot different than criminal. And I have one of these pending now in a case where I'm defending an officer in a murder case, with co-defendants, and those are hard to get even in criminal. For the reasons I stated. But that's essentially the standard is, are you prejudiced by virtue of being tried, unduly prejudiced by virtue of being tried with that other person or entity?
Right, absolutely.
Yeah. Then they filed these motions. They're trying to say, yes, they are prejudiced with that, especially if they say if Alec Murdoch is there in person and they have the cameras on again and he's sitting in the courtroom and jurors are able to see and recognize his face, and they don't want to be associated with that. But speaking of Alec Murdoch, who is behind